Hey everyone, I just want to say thank you so much for checking out my video. If you want a full recipe, you can click this paper tart container right here, or you can just check out the full written one down below. So egg tarts are pretty easy, as you can see. The only difficult part for me was just figuring out what kind of crust I wanted. There's some egg tarts that you can order at dim sum where the crust is very flaky, like a pie, and there's some that I've been to where they make them more crumbly, so like a tart crust. For me, I personally prefer the crust, so that's what I went for. So while my recipe does include a jam, actually, if you want to make normal egg tarts, you can just skip out and use the same recipe and all that, and it'll turn out just fine. The reason why I added the jam is because this one time my parents went to Chinatown and they came back to this really cool egg tart that had like a mix of red bean and blueberry on the bottom. So that was pretty unique, and I thought I would use that as my own inspiration to make a fruit-filled egg tart. The first thing that I thought it was just going to be really easy. My first attempt was I made the crust, I made the custard, and all I did was just plop some frozen blueberries on it and I baked it. I didn't realize that the fruit, through baking, will float to the top, so that disrupted the custard and made it really weird and lumpy, and the color just didn't look appetizing at all. So I realized I needed to make something thick that would stay in the bottom. My second attempt was just using blueberry jam that I found in my fridge. That turned out okay, but then I think it was still a little too watery, and what happened is there was some weird bubbling that created some also weird coloring effect. So my final attempt was just to cook down fresh blueberries, make my own jam and cook it down into a very thick paste. That worked actually really well. As you can see in the video, all my egg tarts didn't have any coloration or anything, so that went great. So the next problem is, which actually is my first problem, was that I couldn't find the metal tart tins. I thought I'd go to the dollar store or my local grocery store, and I couldn't find any of those disposable aluminum ones. And I thought buying 12 metal small tart tin was way too expensive. So I looked around and I couldn't find any, and I found 3 possible solutions. So I went to a Chinese grocery store and I just bought half a dozen of egg tarts that came with aluminum disposable things, and I used those. My second one was I just bought the silicone tart thing that you see in the video. It was a little hard because the shape is a little different, but if you're careful with the dough, you can make it fit. And finally, my last solution was actually using paper, which was this. And it actually isn't for tarts, it's for mini brioche, but I thought it would make it look really pretty with the design here, and it made it a lot easier. Because of the paper, you can kind of stretch it out and make it fit the crust really well. And that's pretty much it. If you have any comments, suggestions, or ideas, please leave them down below. Upcoming videos can be found by subscribing over here. My older videos are right up there, and to help the channel grow, if you share this on your social media, it would be greatly appreciated. And that's pretty much it. Thanks again. Cheers.